Okay, Pisces, you're coming through as a little bit impatient about obtaining the peace from like a peaceful home life or like with your family. Okay, yeah. So maybe some of you are wanting to like move out of your current situation. Um and especially so we've got the 5 of Pentacles in reverse here, and as far as the impatience goes and looking at the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, um it's kind of giving the impression that like you're trying to save money. Um, yeah, I see some of you are definitely trying to just like get your own place. Okay, so I'm kind of looking into like how you can soothe this like feeling of impatience. Like it's not happening fast enough. And I'm seeing the Tower in reversed and the Temperance card together. Um, which tells me that like to cope with that, you're just gonna have to like find a way to like alchemize with your current circumstances a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. So when we look at your energy, we're seeing a beautiful self sufficiency, a beautiful embodiment of independence, but feeling like you have to repress that in order to find this alchemy. And I see just like a lot of it's coming from a good place, but it's in your environment, there's something almost that like wants you to prove it that that's where you're at. Um, Possibly going as far as like making you feel like you're being accused of not doing everything that you can to be moving on. Interesting. Okay. So, what does that alchemy actually look like? I'm looking at where you can put this like self sufficient, independent energy um, instead of just suppressing it. So, for some of you, what I'm seeing is you're being guided to just be a little bit more transparent about your plans. See, I don't like saying that though, and that's why I'm like just sitting here thinking about it because we've all heard to like move in silence and like when you have big things coming and you're manifesting really good things for yourself to kind of, not tell the whole world about that. And I'm a Scorpio, so like I'm all for, staying quiet and like observing instead. But that's what I'm seeing as far as like it's so odd. You know what? And if you're like me in this situation where you're like, I don't really feel like I need to involve other people, maybe it's just like finding peace in that knowing by yourself and like not needing the external validation, not needing this environment to like stop seeing you a certain way, as far as like not putting enough effort in or whatever. You know what you're doing, you know where you're at. Um, and I think that, like, if nothing else, this time where you're having to be patient is going to teach you to be okay with that. That's sitting with me a little bit better, but you know what? Take it as it resonates for you. Okay, we got a lot of swords here too, as like kind of an alternative space to like put your independence. It doesn't feel like good energy, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this, you know, being able to validate yourself is coming through as sort of like a better option. We got the Page of Swords reversed, the King of Swords in reversed, and then the Four of Swords in reversed, and it's coming through as like just like triggering. Like I feel like triggered right now. It's kind of like outburst energy, like kind of going off. And maybe that's what the environment kind of does to you. It's like it's meant to make you uncomfortable, but you're not meant to take the bait. Yeah, I'm gonna stand by that. You don't need to tell anybody with the King of Swords in reverse. You don't need to tell anybody what your truth is. Like, you tell them what you feel comfortable telling them, and you know what? See what happens. Because if people try to like pull it out of you even more or like poke you with a stick, like won't respect like the boundary that you set, um, that'll give you clarity about like what the intention is behind like this curiosity that they have about like what your next move is and like where you're trying to go. Like self-sufficiency is great, and the Nine of Pentacles is like a really great energy to embody. And we live in a world of takers, so there's always going to be someone trying to figure out how you did this or what you're going to do with this, or wanting a slice of your pie. And you know, you're trying to get somewhere with this impatience. Like, you don't need to be like giving out pie just because somebody asked you. Like, no, people aren't gonna like stop asking you to share the good things that you've got. There's always going to be someone that needs the charity, or that like feels more deserving of what it is that you have. um and that's why boundaries are so important. And so this really does feel like, as far as like, why am I still here, why is this happening so slowly, it feels kind of divinely orchestrated. Like it's set up to be that way, so that you can experience this like pressure from the outside, and learn how to kind of build up a resistance or a tolerance against it. It's not to say that your environment is like malicious or has ill intentions per se, but like think we've all been there, where we have like a friend or a family member or a workplace that just like almost like never seems to get enough from you. Like, because that's the kind of society that we live in. Like, it just is. I think most people, when they need something, they ask people for help first. You know what I mean? When in reality, there's so much that we can do for ourselves before we even get to that point. So, a one-liner. Keep working. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're in a good space no matter what other people around you are trying to tell you that you're doing with your time and energy. You know, if you feel like you're in alignment, you're in alignment. So yeah, keep working.